Dear people, count along with me today and keep track of how often I say the word brilliant. You can make your guess right now before the ride really begins and then post it in the comments afterwards to see how close you were. A very warm welcome to 1000 PSTV and welcome to a brilliant motorcycle in what should become a properly brilliant video. Yes, we have already explained often enough, especially to our German viewers, what the Austrian word Leihwand actually means. And I think the KTM 390 SMCR, this small supermoto here, is a perfect opportunity to bring that bit of Eastern Austrian slang, that little piece of vocabulary, a bit closer to you once again. It has a hint of cheeky harmlessness about it, a sense of coolness, looseness and ease, always with a positive attitude. And when I am sitting in the saddle of this KTM 390 SMCR, I really do get a brilliant feeling. I can properly feel motorcycling in one of its purest forms. You have to say, this pure, concentrated, uncomplicated thing works really well here. It feels reduced to what matters, without feeling poor, empty or unfinished. And that is not only because it is a supermoto. Of course, supermotos naturally have that characteristic. They give you this pure, natural, intense feeling on a motorcycle without too much in between you and the ride. But here it is simply the right dosage. It is strong enough and large enough for it to be brilliant and not merely nice, pleasant, or cute. No, it is brilliant. At the same time, it is not too big, not too heavy, not too mighty, and not too powerful. So you do not have to spend half your energy just trying to stay alive on the thing. That is exactly the fine line this bike walks so well. We have known this 390 engine for quite a while now. And in other bikes too, it has already shown that it can cut a very decent figure. Of course, I know that for younger viewers, the coolness ranking works differently. There are converted two-stroke enduros out there or proper hardcore enduro bikes converted into supermotos, and they are probably cooler. The big 690 SMCR is probably cooler as well. But those things cost more money, and they also come with service intervals that are much less pleasant in real life. Once you are in the saddle, strangely enough, you do not think about that very much. You simply have the feeling that you are riding a genuinely brilliant supermoto. The controls are practical in terms of ergonomics, and everything falls to hand without drama. Looking at it from the outside, you might think the hump on the tank could get in the way a little. But once I was riding, I no longer felt that at all. In the saddle, the only thing I was really thinking about was where to place my line, where to turn in, and how neatly I could connect the next corner. And that precision was truly breathtakingly good. Earlier in the paddock, no pain, told me, be careful. He had freshly mown the grass, and there were a few clumps of grass lying around. I had not seen them before, of course, so once I was out there, I had to dodge all these little grass clumps, and that was astonishing. Naturally, it has slim wheels fitted. There's a 150 at the rear and a 110 at the front, but that still has to work properly. Just because something is narrow does not automatically mean it is more precise or that it is quick, but this bike is. And I really hope you can see in the onboard video just how accurately I was riding between those grass clumps on the tarmac, and how precisely, down to the millimeter, I could aim the bike. That is evidence of good geometry because you find confidence in the motorcycle very quickly. But it also shows that there is a lot of experience in it, that somebody really tested this thing until their fingers bled so that it turns in precisely, harmoniously, and naturally. And that is something I think experienced motorcyclists and beginners alike will appreciate. You sit on it, and as if by magic, the brilliant bike always goes exactly where you more or less happen to want it to go. It does not ask for complicated rituals first, it simply responds. And all of that combines with a well-measured dose of everyday usability. So yes, it is not as radical, as wild, or as wicked as larger supermotos. Instead, it reaches a point where you can still say, right, I will use this every day for my errands, not just on the supermoto track. From my point of view, it manages that combination very well. You have a compact display, but you can still find the necessary settings very quickly. Sport mode, street mode, switching Supermoto ABS on, all of that is practical, clear, and good, and it fits wonderfully. I honestly do not know off the top of my head whether the Enduro or the Supermoto is the more successful version in this 390 configuration. I can absolutely see the appeal of both concepts. But riding this one now, I have to say it is a truly great enrichment to the range. The price is manageable, the maintenance effort is manageable, the running costs are low, it is simply easy to maintain. All those servicing costs are favorable on such a compact single-cylinder motorcycle. And yet all of that comes together with genuinely lovely riding pleasure in the saddle. No pain was out at the same time on a Ducati Supermoto, and I did not have the feeling that I was having any less fun than he was. We were both grinning in that cheeky way, enjoying these wonderful laps, both of us pleased with the simple joy of it. And now I am curious to see how this cheeky, lively character, this weasel quick front end, is reflected in the lap time. With this wingman from RideLink, we are now not only recording visually how I ride and what lean angles I reach, we are also measuring the lap times with it, and we compare those lap times in our 1000 PS best time table, which by now includes, I think, around 150 motorcycles. We only have to be careful when reading the table. Which tires were fitted? What was the asphalt temperature? Those things naturally have a major influence. What we have here are good all-round tires. They are not radically sporty, but they did a good job today. Temperatures were moderate, not ultra hot. So actually, there should have been a fairly good time in it. It will not tell the whole story because this bike is about more than a number, but the number is still exciting. Let us see.